This week on 49ers Sac-Hi Sports, the league races are coming down to the wire, and we have the highlights from many of the deciding games. We have the exciting Cordova-Natomas rematch. Vacaville takes on Bandon and Wood Creek battles in your home.
The first place game in the Capital Athletic League has Vista Del Lago taking on Christian Brothers. Girls soccer features 12 Bridges and Colfax. Plus, you'll see the story of the adaptive skier from Jesuit and his journey full of hardship and triumphs. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports starts right now.
Welcome to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. We start tonight in Rancho Cordova, where the Cordova Lancers look to get revenge on league-leading Natomas. The Lancers and Nighthawks played back on January 18th. Natomas taking home the 2-point victory.
Freshman Mano Jenkins had 26 points in that game. Natomas comes into the meeting 9-0 in league play. Cordova sitting at 7-1. Natomas can clinch at least a share of the league title with a win. The game played Friday night.
Nick Pecoraro here. What a game we had the last time these two met. Friday night was even better. Cordova comes out swinging. Javen DeVera had 11 points off 3 triples in the first quarter. And then his boy Lewis Griffin throws down for the start of a big night for him. It was all Lancers in the first half, but CJ Brown gets a nice up and under lay-in to keep the Nighthawks within 13 at the break. A huge momentum shift in the third. It's Brown again with the and one, and then Darion Jenkins follows suit. He gets an and one to go, and here comes Natomas. Makai Bird, the Birdman, had a huge night for the Nighthawks. That shot closes the gap to just 3 heading into the fourth. Bird, again, the Sac State football commit, gives Natomas its first lead of the game with 6 minutes to play in the fourth. The Nighthawks still on the hunt. Freshman Mano Jenkins drills it from the corner, and Natomas is up by 4. But Lewis Griffin had himself a night on Friday. The hoop plus the harm were all tied up at 59. Natomas with the chance to win. Trent Gordon for the outright league title. Can't get it to fall, and we're headed to OT. Gordon makes up for that miss early in the overtime. He had 14 on Friday. And then Mano Jenkins buries another triple. Natomas takes a quick 6-point lead in the extra period. But overtime was a shootout straight out of the Wild Wild West. Griffin cuts the deficit to 3. But Makai Bird was huge on the offensive glass. He had 25 and gave the Nighthawks a bit of a cushion. But Griffin, the senior, answers with another 3. He had 9 points in overtime, but none bigger than these. Down 2. He has an open lane to the basket, but he steps back and goes for the win. And Griffin calls game. 34 points, 7 3-pointers, and showing some respect to his opponent at the end of an instant classic. And Cordova keeps a share of the GSL title within sight for at least one more game.
Garrison reporting where El Dorado will be hosting Union Mon in a league game. Both teams coming off wins. Let's get started with Jaden Ferreira spinning off his defender for the backboard layup, and it's 11-10 Diamondbacks lead. Then it's Jack Rosen driving, stopping, and going up and under for a left-handed layup off the glass. Sweet move. But then it's Mason Motteshed crossing over and getting an easy layup at the rim. 22-12 Union Mon leads with 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Next is Cougars on the fast break. Miko Bear to Ferreira for the layup and one. 26-19 at the end of the first quarter. Diamondbacks lead. Cougars, this time is Ferreira getting a block, trying to spark his team defensively. However, the Diamondbacks answer back with their own defensive play. Moada Mashed gets a steal and easy finger roll layup. More Union Mine. This time it's Brody McNabb. Sends that shot out of here, and it's Moada Shed on the fast break. Pulls out the Magic Johnson no-look pass to Rosen for the layup. Then it's Dylan Dessa with the pump fake. Hezzy an easy lay-in. Desi on his bag of tricks. 53-33 at the end of the second quarter. Union Mine leads. This time it's Dessa driving and kicking out to Nate Sweet. You already know that's a sweet jumper. Now it's Motteshed with a slight Hezzy pull-up and bing at the buzzer. 74-50 at the end of the third quarter. Union Mine leads. Diamondbacks firing on all cylinders. Kendrick Brooks driving, lasers a pass to Sweet, and that's all butter. Finally, it's Motteshed crossing over and dropping a dime like a bank teller to Isaac Zimmerlecker. Beautiful basketball. Union Mine defeats El Dorado 98-65. Motteshed leads his team with 21 points.
Senior senior night at Manteca High School. The Buffaloes looking for their first win over crosstown rival East Union in nearly 2 years. Jana Icaro gives it to Brianna Parker, who takes a step to her left and drains a triple. The Buffs with a solid start over the defending champs. Brooke Agdama makes her way to the rack, banks it home, 11-7 Manteca after 1. In the second, the Buffs extend their lead. Parker over to Marcelina Chaparro, and Marcy goes around her defender and puts it away. So the Lancers playing from behind. Taylor Snare grabs the inbound pass and goes hard through the paint, kissing it off the glass. 17-12 Manteca. Michaela Springs makes her way to the top of the key, is given plenty of room, and she switches that 3-ball. Karina Malone with a big game on her senior night as she gets the put back. It's a 13-point Buffalo lead at the break. East Union not going anywhere. Snare knocks it loose, chases down the loose ball before getting the layup to fall. 33-18 Manteca. Chaparro up ahead to Malone. One dribble and Karina converts, and Manteca holds on to the 15-point lead. Denise Payne cuts into the deficit. The first shot is missed, but Denise puts it back. But this bucket at the end of the third quarter by Brianna Parker makes it 42-25 Manteca, a 17-point game. And when backed into a corner, these Lancers fight until the very end. Snare to Ava Barrera, and that's a 3 for the freshman. Then it's Snare again to Barrera. This time, Ava feeds Mariela Navarro, who dumps it off to Payne. The Lancers outscore Manteca 12-4 in the final frame, but the Buffalo lead just too much to overcome. Malone with a game-high 14-point night, and Manteca celebrates their big win on senior night. East Union and Kimball now tie for the VOL lead. The two will square off Tuesday in the final game of the regular season.
Ian Olson coming to you from Roseville for the ladies soccer matchup between Wood Creek and Yuba City. 9 minutes in, Ava Klontz makes a move and plays a square ball to Lexi Schroeder, who fires it past the keeper for the game's first goal and her 17th on the season. Later in the first half, Layla Echeverria pokes the ball over to Jocelyn Piercy, who buys some space and gets around the defense to have a go, delivering a shot into the side netting and making it 2-0. In the 35th minute, Mia McSweeney is playing downhill. McSweeney plays the long ball, finding the feet of Ellie David. Her shot's deflected, but in comes Kylina Chavez for the rebound, hammering home the Timberwolves' third goal. Late in the half, Wood Creek seeks to capitalize on a corner kick. Allison Brill rushes in toward the far post and hits it home. To start the second half, it's time for Wood Creek to show off its defense. Yuba City plays the ball into the box and is knocking on the door, but Ellie David comes into position to block the shot, chase it down, and clear it from danger. The Timberwolves then continue their offensive clinic. After receiving the through ball, McSweeney makes a step over, cuts back, and hooks up with David in the center, who caps the beautiful play by striking it into the corner. Becca Pratt follows by gaining position and shaking off the defender before hitting an emphatic upper 90 goal. Every Timberwolf has now scored during the 2022-23 season. Wood Creek gains the win, remaining unbeaten and extending its lead in the Capital Valley Conference.
Each week this season, Roseville Hyundai brings us the Players of the Week. Our first Player of the Week is Miles Lake from Rio Americano. The Rio Raiders handed Capital Christian its first league loss of the year last week to pull into a first-place tie. Miles scored 17 points, grabbed 10 rebounds, and dished 5 assists in the double-double performance.
Our second Roseville Hyundai Player of the Week is Elijah Mobley from Western Ranch. The Cougars beat Edison last week to grab a share of the league lead. Elijah scored 24 points, had 5 rebounds, and 5 steals in the hard-fought victory. Elijah Mobley and Miles Lake, this week's Roseville Hyundai Players of the Week.
SMUD is leading the nation in clean power, so each week SMUD teaches us how we can save energy.
Here is this week's Clean Power City Tip, powered by SMUD.
I'm Damani Johnson from Indercombe High School, and here's this week's Clean Power City Tip. Eat and shop local, like your local farmers market, to reduce transportation emissions. SMUD is leading the nation in clean power. Learn more at cleanpowercity.org.
Coming up, our first SunPower Electric game, Vacaville and Vanden meet one more time for the league lead.
Then it's Lathrop taking on Mountain House on the soccer pitch. You are watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Summer's in full swing. Remember, SMUD's peak hours are 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays when electricity use is the highest. Shift some of your electricity usage to mid and off-peak hours when it costs less and renewable energy is plentiful. It's good for your bill, protects the environment, and helps our community too. Let's work together to save energy this summer. Learn more at smud.org/time of day.
Commitment, performance, pride. Roseville Hyundai is thrilled to be the feature sponsor of this week's Sac-Hi Players of the Week. We take great pride in recognizing each of your accomplishments as part of our continued effort to support the community. Come see the electrifying new lineup at Roseville Hyundai. From EVs and hybrids to our fuel cell vehicle, Hyundai Nexo. We've got you covered. Claim yours today.
Score that touchdown and run it up again. Score that touchdown and run it up again. SF Niners, we just win. SF Niners, we just win. I'm from that field, I'm from that field. 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 I'm from that field.
Our first SunPower Electric game tonight is likely to decide the Monticello Empire League champion. The MEL is coming down to Vacaville and Vanden. Vanden is the defending league champs and enters the week tied for first with Vacaville.
Vacaville beat Vanden back on January 17th in a thrilling one-point game, but lost to Fairfield last week to even up the league race. So Vacaville and Vanden is our first SunPower Electric game tonight. Mark Willis was there.
Electric game.
Yeah, Vacaville defeated Vanden a few weeks ago in overtime, and that set them up perfectly the rest of the way. But they had a slip-up last week against Fairfield. Now they find these two teams neck and neck once again. Last time these two teams faced off, it was a very physical game. Nate Schnell had a great outing, scoring 26 points. He'll have to have another huge night for the Bulldogs. As for Vanden, they got to get something going early, some easy buckets early on, that get the offense flowing. Sterling McClanahan is one of the many Vikings who are fun to watch. So this is the SunPower Electric game. It's going to be a great one between Vacaville and Vanden. By the way, Rodriguez sits one game back of these two teams, but we'll wait and see how this game plays out. There's Tyler Thompson sitting this one out as he suffers a knee injury last week versus Fairfield. We wish him a speedy recovery. 4 minutes into the contest, and it was like a heavyweight fight. Vanden's Jaden Robinson knocking down this corner 3, 7-5 Vikings. Then Vacaville responds with a Gavin Hamel three-pointer of his own. Vacaville goes up 10-7. With defenders all over him, Nate Schnell finds Larry Lewis III underneath the hoop for the score. 24-18 Vacaville at the break. Third quarter down. Here we go. Vanden running. A missed shot is followed up by Deirdrick Dennis. The putback dunk. Vikings down 4. Then Vacaville responds with a Jake Knight finds Hamel again for another wide open three-pointer, and the Bulldogs go up by 7. Here comes Vanden. Sterling McClanahan pushing it to E.J. Rogers. He throws it back up to McClanahan, who knows what to do with it. It's oops, up, side to head. Then Vanden makes a one-point game. McClanahan to Justice Wilson for the lay-in. When Vacaville needed a big shot, Hamel was there to step up and take it. Another three-pointer for the senior. Bulldogs by 6. Vanden breaks the zone. Dennis a two-handed flush, but he gets a T for hanging on the rim, so it's still a 6-point game. When Hamel shoots his 4 three-pointer in 3 quarters, Vacaville goes up 10 after 3 periods. Then in the fourth, Vacaville gets into the dunking game. Lewis throws it down with authority, but he gets nailed for it, also hanging on the rim. Loose ball. Lewis picks it up, and this time he stays off the rim. He just throws it up into the hoop. 3-point play. Vacaville's in control. Vanden's still battling, though. Luka Radvanovic scores it from inside the paint. Vikings down 7. Vacaville holds on and ends up pulling away in the end. Gavin with another basket, and that would do it. Vacaville is all alone in the MEL with a 10-point victory for the Bulldogs.
It was huge. That basically secured MEL. That's big for our team. We wanted this win bad. This is the best team I've ever played with all 4 years of high school. I mean, everybody's unselfish. I mean, we all just want to win. We'll do whatever it takes, and I think we're going to go far in the playoffs, too.
In Fairfield, for the SunPower Electric game, I'm Mark Willis, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Tracy area sports coverage is presented by Tracy Toyota off Freeway 205 in Tracy, with you all the way. Lathrop and Mountain House trying to keep its league title hopes alive. Last time these two played, Lathrop won 4-3 and the Spartans go up early in this one. Alan Hernandez with a corner and Rayleigh Villalpando heads it in. Spartans up 1-0 in the second minute. Lathrop attacking again. Raymond Ordana with a shot on goal. OCL Mora tries deflecting it in, but Keegan Wright makes the save. And Lathrop looking to go up by 2 goals on the PK. Mora shoots, but Wright makes the save at point blank range. The sophomore with 15 saves in this match, but was it enough? 36th minute, Angel Alvarez with the free kick. Montgomery Carey is covered by a whole lot of Spartans, but he gets the header to go. That's his 34th goal on the year, and it ties this match up. Lathrop continues to get great looks. Mora gets it to Brandon Rodriguez in the box, but the shot goes off the post, and Derek Rubin knocks it out of harm's way. It's still 1-1 in the 69th minute. Watch this move from Montgomery Carey. That frees him up to make a shot on goal, and it hits the corner. Mountain House takes the 2-1 lead on Carey's 35th goal on the year. 5 minutes later, the Spartans still battling. Oliver Hernandez gets a clean shot at it, but the ball sails high of the crossbar. Lathrop with some great chances, but in the end, Mountain House holds strong. That PK save from Keegan Wright, the difference in this one, along with the 2 goals from this guy, Montgomery Carey. The Mustangs pull into second place with the 2-1 victory. Stanford Medicine brings us great advice for athletes each week.
Here's Dr. Joseph Donnelly with this week's health tip.
Unlike a typical bone fracture, which occurs with a single traumatic event, stress fractures are the result of repetitive stress on a bone over time. Stress fractures can develop in many different bones in the body, but are common in feet, shins, and the low back. If they continue to play through pain, the symptoms typically increase and will persist even when they stop their sports activities. If left untreated, stress fractures will progress over time and can do long-term damage to the bone. Seeking early medical advice when pain symptoms arise is the best way to avoid progression of a stress fracture, and most can be treated with a period of rest followed by physical therapy.
Coming up, Wood Creek looking to take down mighty Inderkum.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section top 10 girls basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
At Tracy Toyota, we're not just devoted to selling cars. We're committed to our community. We're donating $100,000 to help local organizations in Tracy. We call it Champions Thinking Heroes, like the Seeds of Life Center, who serves the local community. We're even donating $50 for every vehicle sold. Shop our great lineup of new Toyotas in person or at tracytoyota.com. Our certified used cars come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Tracy Toyota, with you all the way.
Right now, my electrical bill is about $10 a month.
This is definitely one of the best investments we did in our house.
All over the country, people are taking control over their electric bills by going solar with SunPower. We offer the most efficient, durable panels on the market, so you can see a return on your investment every month.
I was paying $220 a month. Now I pay about $22 a month.
Right now, 49ers faithful get a $1,000 Visa reward card from SunPower. Go online today.
Inderkum comes into this week with a 20-2 overall record, 8-0 in league play. The Tigers are overflowing with talent. Jermaine Halliburton and Jalen Glenn are 2 of the top players in the section.
Wood Creek needing a win over the Tigers to remain in contention. The Timberwolves come into the Monday matchup with a 7-1 record. Austin Ito has been great for the Creek. Wood Creek, Inderkum, Monday night. The Inderkum Tigers just a few wins away from clinching their 2nd straight league title. Wood Creek is standing in the Tigers' way. Just a minute from opening tip, Jalen Glenn gets the steal and goes to the rack for the one-handed rip. Inderkum jumps out to an early lead. Zachary Chan drives, kicks it out to Rohan Singh Shimar, and Rohan hits the corner 3, 10-2 Tigers. Wood Creek fighting back. The 3 ball is tipped by Glenn, but there to put it away is Isaac Hawthrone. Less than a minute left in the first quarter. Isaiah Chandavong drives, fades to his left, lands the bucket. A pretty move there for the senior. And Chandavong makes it a 13-point game with a pocket 3. 4 different Tigers with 4 or more points in the first quarter. But Omari Shoop could go, stepping up big in this one. Only a sophomore. Omari makes it a 10-point game heading into the second quarter. The cheer team loving that.
Jermaine Halliburton gives it to a driving Taylon Goodman, and Taylon gets the physical lay-in to go. Max Van Lanningham almost had that block, but watch this one. Indy gets the steal, but here, Max getting nothing but ball. The freshman, a big defensive threat. The senior, Austin Ito, keeps the Creek in this. This three caps off his 10-point first half. It's a 13-point Intercom lead at the break. Jalen Glenn leading his team with 12 on the night, 41-28 Intercom. Then it's Chan kicking it out to Halliburton at the wing, and Jermaine knocks down the triple. Wood Creek not going away quietly. Ito with a 20-point night. That's a game high as the Timberwolves make it as close as a 6-point game, but the defending champs just too powerful Monday night. Halliburton forces the steal. Chandevon comes up with it. He throws it up for Rohan, who throws it down. Intercom improves to 9-0 in league play, just 2 league wins away from clinching that title once again.
Jesuit senior Bassem Mansour has endured more adversity than most face in a lifetime.
That's right. Brian Mueller explains how 2 near-death experiences have only made him stronger.
Bassem Mansour's life has been anything but a walk in the park. He took his first steps in a hospital.
I was 6 months old. It was literally like right around Thanksgiving when I was a baby. I was diagnosed with called neuroblastoma, which is a type of cancer for young children. I learned to walk in a hospital with an IV and a tube in my chest.
That was a rough time. We were scared. You know, you hear the word cancer, you can't even imagine it can happen to a baby.
And while things were touch and go for a time, the toddler came out on top, thanks to the care he received at UC Davis. 14 years later, Bassem is learning to walk again under a UC Davis roof, but this time for very different reasons.
October 6, 2020.
That was the day Bassem's life changed forever. While going out for a ride on his bike near his El Dorado Hills home, Bassem was hit by a pickup truck. He was airlifted to the UC Davis Medical Center. Bassem would later be told if he was taken by ambulance, he would not have survived.
The world stopped. I mean, you can't breathe. You just try to make it there and just hope that it's not as bad as they let you believe. And yeah, but that was not the case.
When I woke up in the hospital, I thought the whole thing was a dream. Like, I thought to myself, I'm like, that didn't actually happen. Like, I'm fine. And then the first major thing I realized was like, oh crap, I can't feel my legs.
Bassem had suffered 14 fractures, and his left leg was nearly severed. Doctors worked to save Bassem's leg and perform multiple skin grafts and a bone graft. In all, Bassem endured 9 surgeries.
I remember in the hospital, I was in like really, really dark place. Because, I mean, I was only 15 when this happened. And when you're 15 and you lose all feeling, all motion, and like you're paralyzed, that to me was like the biggest. I was almost thinking to myself, like, what did I do to deserve this?
I remember once mentioning to a doctor that was there to say, I wish I could take his pain. I wish, you know, it was me. And he said, no, you don't, because you would not survive. He's young, and that's the only reason he survived.
Thanks to his parents, friends, and the UC Davis medical team, Bassem's body and mind began to heal.
The fact that he survived this shows physical strength on his part, because no one can survive this.
It didn't take long for him to develop really close bonds with the medical team, and that made a huge difference.
Being the fact that they were so calm with me and that they actually helped me through it, I don't think I could have done it like without them.
Today, Bassem is thriving as a senior at Jesuit High School. He's a drummer in the band and still enjoys all the sports he did before his injury, just in a different way.
Skiing more than ever now has been more important in my life than anything. Literally ever since I was in pull-ups, I've been on the slopes, and that was kind of the first thing when I got hurt, was like, how will I be able to like ski again or bike again?
Sport and music. Those two things beside the academics and beside every other thing, these two things. Every time you see him finding ways, not to what he was doing, adaptive, but he finds a way of still enjoying life.
Are you for real?
Bassem is enjoying life, but he's striving for more.
Still one more.
Every week, he goes to physical therapy at a UC Davis facility to strengthen his legs. Bassem knows he may never walk again like he once did, and he's okay with that. But in the short term, he has one specific goal in mind.
I don't care how I do it, but I'm gonna walk on to grab my diploma. So that's kind of my my major goal right now, is what I'm trying to do.
For someone that's outrun death twice, what's a few more steps? Reporting in El Dorado Hills, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Bassem says he is forever grateful for the care he received at UC Davis. He started the Bassem Mansour Pediatric Trauma Therapy Fund to raise money for mental health therapy for pediatric patients.
Very nice. It's an amazing survival story.
Yeah, and you can also donate. There is a link on the story's YouTube page if you want to give to that fund.
Fantastic. Coming up, the Mattress Firm Perfect Match. The Vista Del Lago girls go for their 35th straight league win against Christian Brothers.
Then it's Stag and Weston Ranch. But first, here's this week's Spirit Corner featuring the Ponderosa Cheer Team.
Trevor was born a champion. He knows how to make lemonade from lemons. He also knows that comfort is all year round. So sometimes, when you can't make lemonade, you make hot chocolate. Today, Trevor is proud to be a service champion. We're now offering a $58 2-for-1 special. You'll get a comprehensive AC tune-up and a free furnace safety inspection. High five service, champion attitude. Call 800-5-CHAMPS.
'49ers Sac-Hi Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stanford Medicine, #1 in Northern California for orthopedics, and by SunPower, a proud sponsor of the San Francisco 49ers.
We are back at Levi Stadium with this week's Mattress Firm Perfect Match. Vista Del Lago winning 34 straight league games dating back to February of 2020. The Eagles come into the week just a few more wins away from clinching another league championship.
Christian Brothers one game back of the Eagles. The Falcons will look to pull out a big win over league-leading Vista. In our Mattress Firm Perfect Match, Aubrey was there.
Vista Del Lago needing just 2 more wins to clinch at least a share of the league title, but the Falcons sitting 1 game back and ready to pounce. Some mayhem under the rack, but Joy Omashakin finds Kaya Foster at the wing. Kaya drains it. CB takes the 6-1 lead. Same score with 5 to play in the first. Alea Harmon drives, gives it to Omashakin down low, and the Falcons are shaking and grooving. Vista gets its first shot from the field with 2.5 to go in the quarter when Charlize Kai slings it ahead to Ella Screenar's 13-3 Brothers after 1. And the Falcons continue their tear. Foster feeds Alea Harmon, and Harmon hits the triple. The Christian Brother defense just absolutely lights out. Jada Hunter gets the steal, goes strong to the rack, and finishing with the reverse. The Falcons allowed just 2 Vista baskets from the field in the first half. Hunter tips it. Amor Corcoran comes up with it, passes back to Jada, who hits the mid-range. It seems like everything just going right for CB in this one. Harmon up the baseline, couple Euro steps, she floats it in. Harmon with the harm, 34-6 Christian Brothers at the half. Vista has some work to do. Emma Lyons takes the feed as she gets the lay-in to go, but the Falcons go on to take their biggest lead of the night as Hunter hits Foster. Kaya 4-3. Christian Brothers would lead by as many as 31. But Vista outscores the Falcons in the third and fourth quarters as Alexa Moore grabs the three for the Eagles there, but Christian Brothers just overwhelming the Eagles. The step back for Hunter, and it's perfect. Jada with a game-high 16 as the Falcons pull into a first-place tie with the Eagles. The girls were pretty stoked after the win.
A huge win for these Falcons. Give it up, girls. All right, we're talking to Jada first. Jada, 28 points at halftime. Talk about this defensive shutdown you guys had going on.
We came into the game with Mamba mentality. I feel like we wanted to prove ourselves from last game, so we came in harder and more physical, and we made sure we were more aggressive.
I feel like everything was going right for you guys in the first half. What's going through your mind when you're up by that, knowing that these guys are your league rivals?
Keep your foot on the gas and don't take it off at all.
Great, I would say you guys did just that. Okay, we are talking to Alea. Alea, you guys played a very tough team from start to finish. What helped you guys through tonight?
Just like the team environment, like we just hyped each other up no matter what, and we played our game, and we just played well together.
You guys played St. Mary's earlier this week. Do you think that helped you guys?
Yeah, it showed us like what we need to work on, and it just really helped us win.
Now you guys are in position to share a league title right now. What's it going to take to make sure you guys are in this position come the end of the season next week?
I think we just need to keep playing hard defense, come out every game with just the right mentality.
What do you think it would mean for your seniors to walk away with a league title this year?
I think it would mean a lot to them, like just going out on top.
What do you say, seniors? Yeah?
For sure.
All right. These are the Falcons. Girls, take us out.
Together on three. 1, 2, 3.
Together!
The Cougars of Weston Ranch trying to make up some ground in the SJAA standings. They'd need a win against Stagg, winners of 12 straight entering Monday. But the Delta Queens were off and running in the first as Jamila Farms dishes to Imani Watkins for 2. And then Farms slices and dices her way through traffic for the lay-in, and we're still in the first. Leona Madrazo with the pick, the layup, plus the foul as Stagg opens on a 9-0 run before Weston Ranch can get going. Janae Holmes feeds Anissa Hakimian down low as the Cougars make it a 2-point game after 1. In the second, Imani Watkins gets the steal and goes the distance for the score, but here's where Weston Ranch takes over. Marta Radaelli cleans up the miss, puts the biscuit in the basket, and 1. Weston Ranch takes its first lead of the game and takes a 23-17 lead into the break. Third quarter, Jamila Farms had her nice little Euro step working all night, and Stagg keeps it as close as 3, and that's until Janaisha Green knocks down a 3. It was a big night for the sophomore on Monday, but her teammates would help her out as well. Jaya Cook works the baseline for a pair, and then here comes Janae Holmes. Full head of steam. The old-fashioned three-pointer puts the Ranch up by 14. But in the closing moments of the third, Jamila Farms gets all the way to the rack. 10 of her team high, 18 coming in the third. But the Cougars pull away in the fourth. Here comes Janaisha Green. Nene tied a career high with 18 points to lead Weston Ranch. But the dagger goes to Janae Holmes. From downtown Stockton, cash money. And Weston Ranch pulls within a half game of Stagg for first place in the SJAA.
This season, Service Champions Heating and Air Conditioning is shining a spotlight on athletes who give it their all in their sport and give back to their schools.
In this week's Service Champions Student Spotlight, we feature Malia Demas from Stagg High School. Malia is the captain of the basketball team and will have played 4 years of varsity softball at Stagg. Off the field and the court, Malia is part of AVID, has been a member of leadership for all 4 years, and currently serves as the senior class vice president. Great job, Malia. This week's Service Champions Student Spotlight. Coming up, it's Grant and Monterey Trail.
And later, Lincoln and Lodi in both boys and girls. You're watching 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
The Metro League race is one of the closest in the section. With just 2 more weeks left in the regular season, 3 teams come into the week with a shot at the title. Grant and Monterey Trail lead the standings with 8-1 records.
Yeah, and Monterey Trail's Varick Lewis leads the Mustangs with nearly 22 points a game. The winner takes sole possession of the first place spot with 2 league games left to play. The game played on Wednesday night.
Fasten your seatbelts for this one, folks. The top spot in the Metro League is up for grabs. Here we go. Grant comes out firing as Isaiah Montu knocks one down from deep. But the Mustangs' Varick Lewis gets the offensive tip in to beat the first quarter horn. But Grant still leads by 1. Second quarter, Montu again with the wild circus shot for 2 of his 14 on Wednesday. But Lewis says, "I'll see your crazy shot and raise you one." Varick had 17 to lead the Stangs. But in the closing seconds of the half, Kiku Parker feeds freshman Andre Gomez, who calmly buries the 3, and the Pacers are up by 4 at the break. The third quarter was the Kiku Parker show for Grant. Here he is with the left-handed scoop, and here he is again with the step-back J. Kiku was going cuckoo as 12 of his game-high 22 came in the third, helping Grant to a 6-point lead entering the fourth. But here come the Mustangs. Brandon Gibson cuts into the lead with a strong move to the rack. But Kiku Parker's not finished. This time he's feeding Hakeem Reynolds to keep the Pacers in front. But Monterey Trail sophomore Demarion Van Kelly brings his team within 2, 13 points for DVK, and moments later, Lewis on the offensive glass again. This shot ties it up at 60 with under 2 to go. The next Grant possession, good ball movement. Darnell Hunter to Reynolds to Gomez for the jam, and we're all squared at 65 with under a minute to play. Kentrell Kelly working the post for the go-ahead bucket for the Mustangs, and it's the last chance for the Pacers, the man with the hot hand all night. Parker has his shot rolled just off the rim, and Monterey Trail holds off Grant on senior night to take sole possession of first place in the Metro League.
Great composure, great body language, and just fight. Competitiveness. We wanted it more, and that's what it was.
We just decided to lock in, be consistent, and just pull off a good dub, man.
Lincoln of Stockton coming into the contest trailing St. Mary's by 1 game. We'll see how St. Mary's did later in the show, but for now, Lodi stands in the way. Early on, it was Anthony Moore with the ball crossing up the defender and scoring it for the Trojans as they go up 4 early. Make it 8-1 when Andrew Galindo finds Moore on the break, and it's a breakaway dunk for the senior. Off and running after a steal, Isaiah Dixon for Lincoln goes all the way and lays it in. Then moments later, Galindo with the ball pushes the pace, finds Taylor Bryant Frey chilling in the corner, and his 3-ball is true. 18-3, and we're early in the second quarter. Lodi Asher Schroeder over to Braden Stout, who drives and scores it on the reverse layup. Tough shot there to help stop the bleeding. Once again, Lincoln on the fast break. Bryant Frey taking it hard to the rack. No problem as he lays in the tough shot. Here's not a breakaway, but a Trojan 3-pointer by A.J. Leonard Roberts. It's good, and it's a 32-8 lead. Then Matthew Steese driving the lane, and he rolls in a floater for the Flames. Moments later, Schroeder comes flying in, and his shot drops, and he gets the foul for the 3-point play, but the Flames are still trailing. Third quarter now, Lincoln on the move. Galindo, a nice bounce pass in stride to Quentin Thompson, who throws down another transition dunk for the junior. Here's Galindo again doing a great job as a floor general over to Drew Malera, who scores it, and the hard contact for the 3-point play. He would be A-OK. Then it's Thompson splashing in a 3 for the Trojans. Stout for Lodi trying to keep it respectable as he scores 2 of his 19 in the game. But Lincoln was just too much for the Flames to handle. Malera with the steal, and he rewards the guy who was setting everyone up all night long. It's Galindo putting it in, and the Trojans win at home.
Ben Holt looking to remain undefeated in the Mountain Valley League Thursday night, taking on Lodi Academy. Let's start with some pick and roll action. Dallin Hazelhofer feeds Salil Singh in the post, and the big man finishes at the hoop with a chance for 3. Ty Zinke responds for Lodi, receiving the pass from Samuel Hernandez and finishing off the window. But Ben Holt continues its electric offense to extend the early lead. Singh drives and draws a defender before feeding Nolan Tan, who cans the mid-range jumper. Then it was time for the Bobcat defense to force some turnovers. Tan starts it off by intercepting the pass and racing the length of the court to finish the deuce. Singh follows by deflecting the pass and getting up ahead quickly. The forward beats the defense down the court and goes up to slam it home, giving Ben Holt a 33-point lead at the half. The Bobcats continued their effective ball movement into the second half. After receiving the dish from Truck-Hein, Hazelhofer takes a power dribble and floats in another basket. Later in the quarter, Jason Collins gets the feed from Hein, shows off his hop step in the lane, and finishes 2 of his game-high 18. Lodi tries to spark some offense by getting in the paint, but Hein comes over from the weak side to swat the attempt. Taden Collins follows by beating, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders before scooping it in for 2. Brandon Cortez caps it off with the blow-by, and Dietrich Hines takes his feed and becomes the 10th Bobcat to score. It was a dominant win for Ben Holt, improving to 19-2 on the year.
Each week we showcase a top recruit from the Sac Joaquin section.
This week's top recruit is Jada Hunter from Christian Brothers. We just saw Jada in action against Vista Del Lago. Jada is a very talented guard, averaging 19 points a game.
Coming up, our second SunPower Electric game featuring the Tri-City League showdown with St. Mary's and Modesto Christian.
Then it's Lodi and Lincoln in girls hoops as 49ers Sac-Hi Sports rolls along.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small. No moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Brought your baseball glove to basketball practice, but turned out to be football practice? Game on, junk sleep. During Mattress Firm's Sleeping Spree event, save up to $500 plus get a free adjustable base with 2 free bedding items. You can't put a price on good sleep, but it's better on sale. Only at Mattress Firm.
We are back at Levi Stadium with our second SunPower Electric game tonight. St. Mary's riding a 6-game winning streak into Monday's matchup with Modesto Christian. The Rams winning 14 of their last 15 games. That one loss coming at the hands of Modesto Christian.
Yep, and MC split the league title last season with Lincoln, but the 8-0 Crusaders are just a few wins away from clinching the title outright. It's MC and St. Mary's in our SunPower Electric game. Our Brian Mueller was there.
Electric game.
Robert and Aubrey, our SunPower Electric game features a matchup of 2 teams to which losing is a foreign concept. Modesto Christian hasn't been defeated by an in-state team since early December. Meanwhile, St. Mary's has won 10 of their last 11. Their only loss is to these Crusaders. The Rams are led in scoring by the junior tandem of Caden Ward and Daniel Huerta, the 2 combining for around 27 points a game. Modesto Christian has San Diego State commit BJ Davis. He's hovering around 20 points a game for the Crusaders. St. Mary's needs a win Monday night to have a chance to catch the Crusaders at the top of the Tri-City Athletic League standings. It's a freshman leading the way for MC, Rashad Cotton with the steal. And he's just going to keep on going and complete the play on the other end himself. His Crusaders up 4 early on. St. Mary's getting aggressive as well. Nate Betancourt goes baseline and banks it in. Rams down 6 late in the first. Final minute of the quarter, Henrik Cabea to Jalen Brown for 3. And the Crusaders lead 15-6. To the second, Huerta matching that 3. And St. Mary's is within 8. Davis pushing it down the court later in the quarter, draws the defense in and finds Zeke Davis in the corner for 3 to make it a 10-point game. That's when the Crusader D really took off. Davis swipes and steals and gets it ahead to Cotton for 2 more. Then it's Cotton with another theft. Home run ball to Prince Osea. What you say? Slamma-jamma time is what it is. Then Davis with a 3 for good measure. Those last 3 plays, all part of a 14-0 second quarter run for Modesto Christian. They led by 23 at the half. To the third, Jeremiah Bernard with some 20/20 court vision here finds Cotton, and that's another 3. Crusaders cruising. But the Rams would narrow that gap in the third. Huerta with another 3, and St. Mary's is down just 13. But Davis making sure the Rams rebuttal ends there, knocks one down from deep, and that would just about do it. Modesto Christian wins it 65-47. They are now 9-0 in league.
We just try to come out with high intensity, high energy, just playing defense, moving the ball, and, it really just translates. It brings the energy up and gets everybody, going and wanting to play, so that's what really did it for us.
Reporting in Modesto for the SunPower Electric game, Brian Mueller, 49ers Sac-Hi Sports.
Seniors from Lincoln's dance team performing a little number for the fans at halftime as the Flames from Lodi paid a visit. Tight game early on. Lincoln's Leah Leonard Roberts with the pass to Serenity Santos, who lays it in. Trojans up 2, but that did not last long. Nora Mayer to Kaya Atkins over to Jane Schallenberger with the left hand. She scores it and 1. Flames up 1. Lincoln with the trapping defense. Santos takes the ball away and finds Riley Bakurian up the floor. She goes strong to the hoop. Foul and the bucket. No fear for that one. Still in the first, Amaya Griffin swings it over to Santos and she lets it fly for 3. It's money and the Trojans go up 5. In the second quarter now, Taraya Blakely drives and kicks it out to Serenity for a deep 3. It's all wet. 15-point lead for Lincoln. After the missed shot, Joni Thomas for the Trojans pulls down the rebound, goes back up and scores it. Lincoln goes up 18 at the break. Third quarter, Lodi off and running. Zoe Atkins up the floor to Kaya Atkins, who scores it. She had 8 in the game. Here's Thomas get another offensive rebound and scoring it again for the Trojans. They extend the lead to 24. Nice ball movement here by Lodi as the extra pass catches Lincoln slipping. Emma Splata all alone to the hoop she goes. Nice play there. But the Trojans were just too much on this night as Bakurian, all 5 foot something of her, pulls down the board and puts it back in. That would do it. Chalk up another league win for the Trojans.
Each week we present the Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Scholar Athlete Award goes to Callie Neufeld from Monterey Trail, the Mustangs freshman goalkeeper taking AP classes and earning a very good 4.25 GPA.
Coming up at Central Catholic and East Union in VOL play.
Then it's 12 Bridges and Marysville. 49ers Sac-Hi Sports will be right back.
Manteca comes into the week sitting on top of the Valley Oak League standings. Central Catholic and East Union come in tied for second, the two squaring off this week.
Central Catholic is led by talented senior Malachi Miller. East Union's Dylan Lee is also very good. The last time the Raiders and Lancers met, Central Catholic took home the win in overtime. Should be another thriller. The game played on Wednesday night.
Brian Mueller down in Manteca Wednesday for East Union hosting Central Catholic. It's senior night, and there were seniors on the courts and in the stands as well. Not sure if they qualify yet for AARP, but Anthony Sy knows a thing or two about hitting from THREE. Then less than a minute later, after the Lancers get the offensive rebound, it's Sy again. He scores the first 8 East Union points, and they have an early 8-2 lead. But back come the Raiders later in the quarter. Tyler Wentworth to Jordan Magana in the corner for 3. CC down 4. Then it's Wentworth to Malachi Miller for 2, and we're all tied up at 13 apiece. Final 20 seconds of the quarter, Jalen Nichols gets it to Wentworth, and it's another corner 3 for the Raiders, who take the lead 16-13. To the second, and the Raiders really start to go on a run. Magana making things happen here, the 3 ball. Then he decides to try one from the top of the arc. That goes as well. Magana and Nichols then work it around to Wentworth, who nails the baseline jumper. It was all part of a 19-2 run to end the half. CC up by 16. To the third, Ian Metcalf, leading the charge for the Lancers, takes the contact and makes the basket. He will complete the 3-point play, and East Union is down 15. Raiders rebuttal. Miller takes flight and runs into some turbulence, but still gets the shot to go. Early fourth, Wesley Payne feeds Miller, and there's no doubt about this one. Miller has a game-high 23, and Central Catholic wins it 68-35.
There's Unruh Man of Marysville, who went off for 32 last time. The Indians faced 12 Bridges, and the Indians win would mean a league title. Here's Jacob Gilchrist hanging out in the corner as he nails down the 3-pointer. It's a 1-point game. The Marysville's Josh Brown Jr. getting up and stealing the pass, and he takes it in for the score. 12-7 Indians on top. Second quarter now, Marysville takes a 7-point lead when Emily Clark drills this 3-pointer, and 12 Bridges hanging around as Jack Kendall finds James Sweet, who spins and scores it for the Rhinos. And with time winding down the half, Jacob Gilchrist with a very, very long distance 3-pointer, but a backbreaker 3 by Unruh Man for Marysville, who hits the corner 3 as time expires in the first half, and the Indians go into the locker room up 8. Third quarter, Clark driving, and he finds the cutting Sean Smith for the lay-in. The Ville by 12. Then Marysville goes up by 16 here as Joshua Brown Jr. stops and pops in the three-pointer. Josh is on his way for a big night. Down 20, 12 Bridges cuts Marysville lead to 8. Gilly with the basket and the foul for the Rhinos. Jacob's not the only one who can shoot threes in the family. Little brother Jonah Gilchrist from the corner three. He actually had 4 triples in the game. But it's Man, a little shimmy pull-up jumper, and it's good. Man had 13 in this one. Here's a loose ball that Umren picks up and scores it for the Indians as they pull away late and now go up 2 games with 2 to play in the PVL. JBJ, your thoughts?
That feels great, man. We got all of our parts. We're our goal section right now, though. This is
Brian Mueller saying hello from Colfax Tuesday for senior night. Alyssa Hansen, Harmony Blackman, and Shaylin Ackerman all being honored. And no better way for these seniors to go out than with a Pioneer Valley League championship, which they can clinch with a win over 12 Bridges. Less than a minute in, the Raging Rhinos' Kelsey Bartlett lets her rip. Anna Miles goes the extra mile for this save. Full extension to keep things scoreless. Late first half now, Kaya Diedericks causing some trouble. Kelsey Curlin makes the initial save, but the Rhinos can't clear, and Ackerman takes advantage. The senior scores on senior night to make it 1-0. Second half, the Falcons looking for more, but Curlin is up to the task to make a highlight save herself. Final 2 minutes, Colfax looking for some insurance. Kaya Diedericks handles the throw-in and fires a lefty missile into the net. Her 34th goal of the year. That's 3rd in the section. And Colfax is the PVL champions for the 4th year in a row. 2-0 the final.
Remember, you can buy all of the game footage we shoot throughout the week. Go to 49ers Sac-Hi Sports to order entire game videos.
Follow us on social media for more prep sports content. 49ers.Sac-Hi is our handle on Instagram and Twitter.
Coming up, we'll choose the play of the week. This could be the play of the week, but maybe not.
But first, take a look at our Sac Joaquin section top 10 basketball poll presented by Tracy Toyota.
We are back to announce tonight's play of the week.
Our Mark Willis, never heard of him, will list a few contenders and then announce, I really have heard of him.
Yeah.
He's been here every week. And then he'll announce the play of the week.
Robert, I got no time for your silly games because Lincoln and Stockton's Anthony Moore with the jam, Galindo with the assist, and here comes Rohan Singh, Shamar with the alley-oop, Edric Dennis Avani with the follow dunk, not easy to do, but it's Sterling McClanahan, his teammate, was even better with this alley-oop upside your head. Hey Sterling, I shot it, I liked it. Then it's Keegan Wright of Mountain House with the unbelievable save on a PK. What? Check out the teammate, it's Montgomery Carey. They also call him Gummy with the incredible move to free himself up for the goal. But the play week we're gonna give to this guy, I don't know him, but I love him because he calls game. It's Lewis Griffin of Cordova, the step back 3 for the win. His 7-3 is the biggest 3 in the play of the week.
That is the play of the week, and that is 49ers Sac-Hi Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Aubrey Tolliver.
And I'm Robert Brownstein. Tune in next week for the final week of the regular season for basketball and early round soccer playoffs. Those exciting highlights and more next week.